歡迎大家嚟到香港書展2012天主教展區嘅現場。大家好，我係 i-talk 嘅主持人 Stephanie 林端儀。嗱，我哋今日咧我都講過啦，我哋嘅嘉賓咧都非常之重量級嘅。我哋第二節翻到嚟嘅時候咧，嘉賓有2位人士喺我隔離㗎，見到佢嘅面孔咧應該都唔覺得陌生㗎啦。佢就係陳家洛副教授啦，同埋咧佢嘅太太 Gabi。我哋俾啲掌聲佢哋2位先。
多謝晒 Stephanie， 多謝咁多位，大家好。
陳副教授咧，除咗係教授之外，大家都知道啦，就係公民黨嘅前主席啦。咁啊，近排就接近選舉嘅時間啦，係咪都工作非常之忙碌？
大家都好忙㗎啦，暑假咧大家都好辛苦㗎啦。雖然放暑假咧，咁但係其實有好多活動，好似今日咁書展，我都見到呢度都好多人㗎喎。係啊，非常之熱鬧啦。咁同埋我都見到你有好多 fans 啦。我知道今日2位囡囡都嚟咗啦。咁希望我哋都可以傾得開心啲啦。咁先撇除唔好講政治先啦，好唔好？我哋講下一啲私人少少嘅問題啦。今日咁開心咧，就請到你太太一齊嚟啦 ，Gabi 啦 ，welcome。So 大家可能唔知道咧，Gabi 咧其實係波蘭人嚟嘅。咁佢哋2位咧，其實我想問下Dr. Chan， 你哋係點識嘅咧？ 應該係1992年嘅時候咧，我就去到波蘭，咁我就去教書㗎。我去華沙大學，咁咧就喺華沙大學認識我呢個太太，嗰陣時係同事。咁啊，太太對我有興趣嘅原因咧，就因為我對波蘭好有興趣，對佢嘅種族啊、文化、文學啊、歷史都好有興趣，特別係語文。咁所以我諗佢覺得好奇怪啦，一個中國人，一個香港人去到波蘭咧。咁啊，點解對波蘭咁有興趣？咁就慢慢傾偈咁認識。咁啊，好快就發展，咁然後我哋95年就結婚啦。
哦 ，OK， 即係唔係因為你當時係唯一一個中國人嘅面孔係嘛？係咪因為咁？如
果喺大學裏邊教嗰陣時係歐洲嘅研究咧，咁喺對於嗰陣時嘅波蘭人嚟講咧係比較少有，係好特別嘅添。
OK， 哇！咁即係都有一段幾特別嘅古仔啦。咁翻到嚟香港咧，生活上面大家有冇一啲唔習慣嘅時候咧？即係我知道都10幾年前嘅事啦。
我哋98年嘅正式係1月喺香港定居啦。咁啊，我同我太太翻嚟，當時我大女已經出咗世，啱1歲。咁但係嗰陣時，我相信最大嘅困難要克服嘅咧，就真係我太太覺得比較孤獨，比較孤單。始終咧香港其實你都知道唔係好多波蘭人。咁我而家講緊到今時今日都係講緊50個家庭左右。咁啊啱啱初嚟報到，當然就覺得係好難適應啦，或者係比較少啲機會接觸到波蘭嘅朋友。咁但係慢慢就習慣咗香港。咁我哋以香港為家。咁啊而家仲有1個月起碼一次咧，我哋有一個波蘭嘅彌撒，有個聚會。咁我哋呢個波蘭嘅社群雖然細，但係咧就好團結嘅，好即係保存翻波蘭嘅好多嘅風土人情啊，好多嘅文化，或者佢自己咧都自己創辦咗一間咧波蘭嘅學校咧，俾我哋啲小朋友咧係可以繼續去學波蘭文。
OK， 咁啊同阿 Gabi 傾2句先。So Gabi, it's your turn. I was just asking Kenneth about how it was when you first moved to Hong Kong. Maybe from your perspective, what do you think was the most challenging thing for you when you first had to get used to living in such a busy society, which might have been a little different from Poland?
Surprisingly, I think it was the loneliness. You know, in that very busy city, I suddenly felt very alone.
係，即係我覺得有啲孤單嘅嚟到香港。
You know, even though we have so many people on the streets, but I didn't know anyone here. And my husband, who always been with me. In Poland, I was his guide, and in England, when he finished his studies, we stayed together and studied together. Here, suddenly he had to go to work, and I was home alone with my little daughter. So I think that feeling never happened to me before, you know, to be so lonely. And happily, quite soon I found out that there is a Polish lady living in the same blocks of flat, actually. She was Polish, and then she said, oh, well, I will introduce you to the Polish community. Very quickly I managed to establish the relationship with some very nice people, and we formed a group of friends, and that was the beginning.
OK， 嗱，我識咗佢哋咧，我先知道原來香港咧係有1001間咧波蘭嘅聖堂嘅，即係專係俾波蘭族裔佢哋嘅聖堂嘅，咁就係呢個聖母院啦 ，Notre Dame 啦。Can you tell us a bit about the Polish Church and the Polish Catholic community in Hong Kong? How big is it? And
The community is actually very small. Usually the mass is attended by maybe 20 people.
哦，一個彌撒得20零人嘅啫。
Half of them are our family members.
有一半係佢屋企人嚟嘅。
So you can imagine there's some pressure on us to attend. Yes. Actually, generally speaking, the Polish community in Hong Kong is probably around about 200 to 500 people.
Yes.
But not many of them are practicing Catholics, actually. Even though we have I believe three Polish missionaries in Hong Kong.
Oh, okay.
And
有3個波蘭籍嘅傳教士。
one of the missionaries, Father Sławek Kalisz, he arrived to Hong Kong around the same time as I did. And we quickly became friends. He is actually the parish priest in Notre Dame Parish.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So do you only meet during Sundays? 即係佢哋係咪淨係禮拜日先見面嘅咧？
We only have a mass once a month in Polish. Yes, and this is when we meet.
Okay. But so you've been in Hong Kong for almost 15 years
Yes.
now. Has it changed your perception of Hong Kong, or are you really used to living here already?
It actually, I became comfortable with Hong Kong very fast, very quickly. And actually, I do not notice much difference. Throughout these years, lots of people ask me whether things changed and for better or for worse.
Yeah.
From my own private perspective, not really. I mean, obviously, I am mostly spending time at home, so I focus on children. Kenneth will tell you that the political situation is changing, right? But from my own perspective, it's been quite steady experience.
OK， 咁啊 Gabi 就同我哋講咧，其實住咗咁多年咧，佢都開始覺得咧香港係佢嘅家啦，兼且咧其實好快咧都適應咗啦。咁但係其實一路同你哋傾偈嘅時候 ，Dr. Chan 咧，我都感受到其實家庭對你嚟講都好重要嘅。咁我知道即係你自己本身都好細個已經領洗㗎啦。咁我唔知大家知唔知其實波蘭咧即係近80%嘅人咧嘅人口啊都係天主教嘅。So Poland is a very Catholic country。咁我想問下宗教對你哋成個家庭嚟講，同埋我知你有4個女啦，同埋1個仔仔啦，就啱啱喺6月咧就領咗洗啦。咁其實對佢哋嘅培育啊，或者可能你教佢哋嘅方法咧，會唔會都有啲影響嘅咧？
絕對有影響，我相信係好嘅影響啦，係好深入、好內化嘅一種影響啦。咁你問我宗教對我或者對我家人嗰個嘅關係，我相信好密切。可以咁講啦，即係冇一種信仰嘅支持同埋做個基礎咧，咁我相信我哋嘅家庭咧係會有一個好大嘅一個空白喺度嘅。咁我相信無論遇到好事、壞事或者順逆咧，其實有信仰去做依靠咧，對於我哋每一日嘅生活嚟講都係好關鍵。其實我哋每晚都會爭取時間咧，臨瞓前都會祈禱。咁而祈禱嘅時候咧，唔單止為自己啦。為個社會、為個世界、為我哋認識嘅朋友咧，都會祈禱。對於我嚟講咧，我相信特別係透過即係 Gabi 咧，我喺波蘭咧係領堅振。係。我喺香港咧係小學、中學都有讀天主教嘅學校，咁可以話對天主教嘅教義啊各方面都好認識。咁但係咧，你知道大家喺香港嗰時讀書，天主教就唸口簧嘅啫。係。咁唔係好明或者係唔係好信、好實淨。係。咁但係去到波蘭，作為一個中國人好陌生嘅地方，去到好似話齋，波蘭係一個天主教嘅民族，係超過90%或者95%嘅人都係領咗洗嘅天主教徒。咁所以嗰個感染係好大，對個人嘅影響好深。特別係咧，波蘭係一個多災多難嘅民族。如果大家認識嘅歷史都知道嘅，有多次俾日耳曼民族入侵，又俾俄羅斯民族入侵。國家曾經80幾年咧係被人消滅，但係個民族性係好強、好硬淨。而有咩令到佢哋能夠即係維係得咁耐咧？80幾年都可以維係個民族，佢嘅語文、佢嘅文化、佢嘅習慣就係個宗教。咁即使係面對譬如共產時期40幾年，佢哋係無神論者，咁咧好多嘅信眾啊，或者係教士或者係教堂咧，都係受到好多打壓，佢依然咧係可以繼續咧係延續佢嘅信仰落去。咁呢啲咁樣嘅故事或者經驗咧，對於我嚟講咧係一個好深好深嘅啟發。咁亦都多謝即係呢個信仰嘅影響啦。所以我對於譬如屋企多啲細路仔，我又好歡迎嘅喎。咁咧我哋而家有4個女啦。咁最尾嘅女咧就係對孖女，就12年前出世㗎啦。咁今年咧就有一個12年之後有一個仔仔啦。咁樣好多人都問我咪追仔啦。咁我覺得真係好
難唔覺得係
唔使拗嘅。我哋成日都話順其自然啦。你覺得我係就係啦，但係我哋梗係好開心啦。越多係越開心，係令到個家人咧係越能夠係互相去支援。咁咧我諗有呢個信仰咧，對於我哋無論屋企 我有幾忙都好咧，小朋友或者我太太咧對我嘅支援咧喺呢個信仰基礎之上係好強咯。
So I'm going to ask a bit more about the upbringing of the children because you have such a large family. 咁我想問下 Kenneth， 5個細路仔啦，我代啲爸爸媽媽去問嘅啫嚇。你點樣去教育佢哋？即係咁多個，你會唔會有時覺得顧得呢個嚟又顧唔得嗰個咁樣樣？同埋你點樣去每一個都會去啟發下佢哋？即係可能佢哋每一個人嘅特質都會唔同啊咁樣樣。咁或者可能你同阿 Gabi 都一齊講下。
我諗第一樣嘢咧，即係你可以話真係嘅，每一個人即使係小朋友咧，佢都可以有自己嘅個性，或者自己嘅脾氣，或者成長過程裏邊咧唔同嘅階段咧都有唔同嘅諗法。咁所以我做嘅就係作為父親，但係同時間都希望作為佢哋可以傾談嘅對象咧，係多啲揾機會交流嚇。咁喺個尊重嘅基礎之上咧，去互相認識。其實咧認識一個小朋友咧，真係可以日日都唔同嘅。小朋友嘅個性咧，或者佢嘅脾氣，可以一日有4季咁春夏秋冬都到齊嘅。咁所以人一定要包容，一定要諒解啦。咁所以你問我信仰係咪好重要，都係好重要。另外一樣嘢咧，信仰雖然可以話有好多你話教義啊，好多嘅規條啊，但係如果我哋唔從呢個角度去講，反而係話其實宗教信仰，尤其是我哋即係基督徒咧，係希望每一個人係即係基督嘅子女都想做一個即係基督嘅見證，想做一個好嘅人。喺在世嘅或者係之後係可以做見證，咁所以我成日同佢哋講，你唔需要最叻嘅讀書，你唔需要做一個好完美嘅人，但係你嘗試去努力，每一日做一個好人。做一個好人就唔係人行一善嗰啲好人喎，就話純粹係待人接物啦，談吐啦，理解下其他身邊嘅事物啦，理解個社會嘅需要同埋社會面對嘅一啲困難，再諗下自己作為一個人基督徒。可以點樣幫到個社會，咁已經好好㗎啦。即係
有時一啲好基本嘅嘢咧，其實已經係即係對我哋嚟講係最重要，同埋可能發揮個影響力會更加大。
一家人喺埋一齊咧，要分工合作嘅。咁但係我哋又唔會硬性規定話你今日做洗碗，你聽日做洗衫，你嗰日做掃地，冇㗎，係要自用自覺。有陣時係提一個問題咯，譬如話，你覺唔覺得咧，你兩個妹妹咧已經第3日係負責執碗㗎咯噃？咁你有冇諗下？
會覺得有啲問題啊？
你會唔會諗下？你會係咪應該食完飯即刻啪一聲走咗上去打電腦咧？咁呢個就係我對大女講㗎啦。
Gabi, I want to ask, what about for you? Like bringing up 4 daughters and a son, it must be really hectic. But I know you also have religion to you is also very important. So how do you bring that aspect of it into your upbringing of the children?
To a point, I am copying my parents.
Yes.
Because my parents are very religious people, especially my father. And, they established some religious practices when we grew up. And actually, I grew up in a family where there were 4 daughters and a son.
Oh wow, Gabi 原來自己屋企都係有4姊妹同埋一個細佬嘅。
So it's just the same. It happened in our family. So in a way, I can easily relate. Yes. And, we have some religious practices. I'm not sure whether Kenneth mentioned that. We pray in the evening as a family. Even our cat attends.
Even your cat, okay. 佢隻貓都同佢哋一齊夜晚祈禱嘅 okay.
The cat always comes when we start praying, which is quite funny.
Maybe he knows.
Yes. And it's a time for us to close the day.
Is it important for you?
I think for me it is a very important moment, and I really try to make sure that we make an effort and get together. And now when my son was born, it's been more difficult because we are sometimes very, very tired, and Kenneth started his campaign, so he comes back late. But most of the days we still manage to get together and pray. And we have established a number of prayers, so it's it's quite automatic in a way for the children. They know the sequence,
and they're okay with it.
Yes, I think they are. They're here, so they don't protest. Yes. Occasionally, when we get bored with the sequence, then we introduce some changes. For example, last May we decided to pray Rosary for whole month because it's a month of Mary worship, and we thought we'll devote this Rosary especially for the birth of the baby.
Right.
And then we came back to our regular prayer in June. So that's special. And also we pray in the morning when I drive the children to school.
Yes.
We usually sing a song just to get us started. And also it creates a sense of community and reminds us about the mission that we have.
Right.
Yes.
Right. 好有創意啊！即係佢哋咧，除咗話即係每晚啊，都會一齊成家人祈禱啦之外咧，其實啊 Gabi 話有時車啲細路仔翻學嘅時候咧，都路途上都一齊祈禱。其實都感受到佢哋呢個公教家庭咧，佢哋都會將即係 天主嘅説話咧，成日都係放喺心裏面嘅，同埋喺佢哋家人嘅相處上面。咁我覺得呢樣嘢都非常之重要。咁啊即係講完屋企之後咧，不如我哋都不免一定要講下即係社會㗎啦，係咪？咁首先貼切少少先啦。其實你嘅工作都好忙嘅，咁亦都叫做一個公眾人物啦嚇。會唔會有時覺得呢樣嘢都會影響到你嘅家庭生活嘅？
會影響嘅一定有㗎啦，因為你一日只有24個小時啊嘛。咁好多人都話呢一個係一個餅就咁大啦，咁你點樣分配自己嘅時間呢？咁但係我覺得即係又係一個信仰嘅影響啦。咁我相信有好多嘢其實自己係可以同屋企咧有商有量，安排好啲，既有一個社會嘅參與，但係原來社會參與咧喺即係我哋基督徒嚟講咧係重要㗎，係我哋嘅生活同埋生命嘅一部分。因為我哋嘅社會參與咧係唔係淨係為自己，係有多啲所謂曝光俾人見到又話社會參與作為基督徒咧係應該彰顯我信仰。特別係我哋即係我哋講我哋公教嘅社會訓導啦，即係當見到社會有唔公道嘅地方，我哋要出聲，要同大家一齊咧去了解呢個問題，要去咧係做一啲嘅改變，推動一啲嘅改革，令到呢個社會咧所謂更加接近我哋嘅理想，即係所謂天國在地呢個嘅理想。咁所以我哋我自己嚟講咧，過去嘅喺香港就由98年工作啦，我參與過譬如話天主教正義和平委員會啦。做過佢嘅執委啦，亦都有幸咧就服務過牧民議會2年啦喺教區。咁呢啲嘅參與過程裏邊咧，其實係好實在，係令我覺得咧原來信仰同社會咧係好密切，係息息相關。但係淨係咁講係太理論，係要每一個人咧，每一個教友咧都應該參與其中咧，去活出、去體現咁樣做法嘅話咧，咁個社會會更加好啲咯。
你有個我自己私人少少嘅問題啦，咁即係我自己讀法律嘅，咁同埋即係我對政治都好有興趣嘅。咁但係即係我成日有個疑問就係我哋即係你已經做到嗰個位咧，就係已經係一個從政者啦。有啲乜嘢你覺得能夠令到你同其他從政者唔同咧？即係因為你自己有你嘅宗教信仰，我點樣可以喺我嘅工作上面喺即係咁多嘅氛圍之下，我都仍然能夠有自己嗰個嘅基礎喺度，即係穩固喺度咧？點樣可以做到？
第一咧就係價值觀。我諗價值觀好緊要。我諗任何即係公眾人物從政也好啦，或者做其他社區嘅服務或者社會工作都好啦。如果價值觀係唔清楚嘅咧，就會好容易變得民粹啦、隨波逐流啦。即係今日大家中意邊樣嘢就做邊樣，今日聽日大家中意講另外一樣嘢講另外一樣嘢啦。咁所以價值觀咧對每一個即係參與公眾事務嘅人嚟講都好重要。咁除咗價值觀之外咧，就係個責任感同埋個承擔係好緊要。因為如果冇一種嘅責任感同承擔咧，好多時我哋參與可能係3分鐘熱度。你知啦，呢個世界好多人一齊做嘢㗎嘛。咁如果大家唔聽我講嘅説話，然後就變得好灰心啦，我自己要匿埋啦，好唔開心啦，要撤退啦，咁係咪一個好嘅做法？應該都唔係啦。咁所以我哋嘅我覺得我哋嘅信仰我哋嘅即係社會訓導俾到我哋嘅啟示同埋指引呢，係應該係能夠令到我哋唔單止有個好嘅價值觀。清楚嘅方向，目標係清楚，同時間咧係遇到好多嘅困難嘅時候咧，都係保持住嗰種嘅即係信德，同埋嗰種嘅希望，亦都希望咧係透過唔同嘅人，即使好唔同嘅意見都好咧，透過我哋成日都會提翻大家，即係愛即係要關愛嗰樣嘢咧，係俾多啲嘅空間大家去慢慢去溝通得清楚啲，互相去體諒一啲。咁有啲嘢咧唔係一次過可以做晒嘅，就慢慢一步一步咁去做。我諗基督徒參與社會嘅侍奉嘅時候咧，個耐性係好緊要。咁尤其是香港呢個社會成日都講要快、要趕、要急，咁咧就即刻要有決定。有陣時好多時唔係咁樣樣嘅。咁我就希望大家可以即係明白到我哋有一個特質去參與公共事務嘅時候咧，係我哋會有，人哋未必好快咧係會掌握到嘅。
We're still asking him about his job, so don't worry. We're not talking about bad things about you. 問多一條問題啊，即係對一啲年青人啦，即係好多時而家我哋80後、90後呢一代咧，其實都已經開始慢慢入社會裏面做嘢啦，或者可能已經擔當緊一啲領導上面嘅角色啊，或者可能有志咧喺社會上面做一番事嘅。咁但係往往我哋都會遇到好多嘅困難啊，好多嘅阻滯啊，甚至乎即係好多人身邊都會話你唔好做啦，其實呢啲嘢真係即係辛苦自己攞嚟辛苦嘅咁樣。你有啲乜嘢即係勸勉嘅説話俾一啲年青人，或者你自己一啲嘅感受？
我唔敢話有啲乜嘢，我好似説教咁樣，即係我係過來人啊，應該咁做啊咁。因為我自己教書嘅，其實我喺教嘅學生咧，即係90後或者00後都嚟緊㗎啦。咁所以我對於佢哋嚟講咧，我相信一定要俾個空間佢哋。即使佢哋有好唔同嘅意見，甚至乎好針對我嘅一啲強烈意見咧，我一定要接受同包容嘅。因為我哋其實都經歷過一個過程啦，就有自己好強烈嘅睇法。 會相信呢一個就係大是大非嘅問題，好原則